Booyakasha. We are live with Famicast 124. Hello and welcome. I'm Danny Bivens, and today I'm joined by James Charlton.
420. Blaze it. Set fire to that cardboard.
Yeah. There it is.
Smoke it.
And also joined by Ty Sugart.
I lived, bitch.
Back from the dead. Hopefully you have something kind of fun to talk about, Ty. If not,
No.
you're fired again. Okay.
Back from the dead.
And joining us today, too, I would say special guest, but I mean, former Famicast member himself. You all know him. You all love him. This is the internet's very own NintenDaan.
To be fair, I was the longest guest host, to be honest. I was never officially a host. I was a guest host. And then I stayed for quite a while.
You did. Don, how's it going, man?
I'm good. I'm very good. How are you guys?
Can't complain. Not yet.
I mean, it's sort of the storm before the Labo.
Yeah, kind of tense. I'm looking forward to, blazing it on 420 with my Labo.
I mean, I played a bunch of it in Amsterdam 4 weeks ago. So, but
the perfect place.
But it was. I had a really good time with it, more with the variety kit than the robot kit. I'm pretty unsure about the robot kit, to be honest.
So you're all in on the Labo, Dan?
On variety kit, sure. On the robot kit, not so much. We'll see.
Okay.
Here's my opinions on Nintendo Labo. More like Nintendo Lamo. Right?
Right.
Okay. Well, all right. Per usual, we're going to go ahead and kick things off with new business. And Don, since it's been ages, would you mind talking about something that you've been playing? I know, Jesus, man, you're always playing tons and tons of stuff, but I mean, just take your pick. I mean,
you play everything, though. It must be hard to play everything these days because there's like 3 eShops, 50 games a day that come out, right?
Last week in Europe, including demos, there were 35 games.
And you only played 33?
No, I played like 10 of them.
Okay, man.
Because it's not realistic to do that anymore. Really, it isn't.
How do you pick the 10 of the 35?
Usually look at descriptions and screenshots because a game needs to convince you right in, and even if the game is potentially good, if it doesn't draw you in with the screenshots or the description, I instantly say maybe later. Yeah, that's it. That's the only way you can do it right now, because you can look it up on the internet and sometimes you get a slightly better impression of what it is. But at the end of the day, the store should convince you, and the store doesn't really do a good job of that to begin with. But at least there are a description and a few screenshots to know from, hey, this is what you can expect, maybe.
They usually do have videos, don't they, these days?
Yeah. But then you also have Eastern European countries and Japanese translated press releases. And those are fantastic.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, man. Oh, we should read those out. That should be like a new special feature. We should read out, like press releases from Japanese publishers.
One of them was play bingo for Nintendo Switch and get excited by everybody.
Right.
Yes.
I do get excited by everyone.
Yeah, I know you do.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is the most amazing sentence I've ever heard in a singular Nintendo Switch press release.
Were the words "Let's excite" written anywhere?
No, it's get excited by everybody.
Well, at least they passed there.
I want to read the Eastern European one as well. It's a puzzle game. You put block into thing. What else can I say? Play the game. Shut up.
There it is.
But yeah, I've basically chosen 3 games at random to talk about because all of those games are good, and I don't rarely talk about bad games for once.
Thank God.
But
Right.
first of all is Break Forces Battle, which the first part of that name comes with a hashtag for some reason.
Yeah,
so hashtag Break Forces space battle.
Break Forces. So it's like a combination of breakfast and exorcist.
Basically, yeah. Basically,
Okay. I'm intrigued.
It's a really interesting. I would say that that block breaker genre is kind of stale, but this one was actually really, really fun because all of those blocks are basically breakfast food possessed by ghosts, and you need to hit them with a ball.
Right.
And the 2 power-ups you have is first like bombs, which can like destroy like a whole bunch of them in a certain circle. But then you have the power-ups come in forms of eggs. So the eggs will, for example, transform your ball into a gigantic pancake, or turn your pedal into something with a bacon laser, which
Makes
is
sense.
super
Yes.
ridiculous and fun. You can play it alone, you can play it in co-op together, and then there's also a 4-player battle mode. I've mostly been playing a lot of the battle mode because once you clear certain stages, because it goes into rounds, you throw another attack on the 3 other players, which is really, really entertaining and fun. Especially with all the effects of the 4 players going on, it becomes really intense and funny.
So it's 4-player split screen alleyway, basically.
No, well, not so much alleyway, because alleyway, it follows more standard format of clearing the stage, having a little bit of breathing room. Just keeps going, and you are also rated on your speed, on the combos you're making, and how you keep yourself alive throughout the game. Because there are unlimited lives, but once the screen hits the bottom, it's game over for you. So it's a bit like Puzzle League in that specific way.
All right. Cool. So is this where is it made? Do you know?
I think in America. Likely like in America, but it's very, it's deceptively cutesy with some really dark undertones into it, and I really get a kick out of it. It's really, really entertaining.
Wow. Breakfast battle. Okay, and that's
Yeah.
on every eShop, or
Yeah, it's. I'm not sure if it's available in Japan, but pretty sure it's available in Europe and North America. Yeah, but it should be in Japan.
Yeah, it kind of looks like flash game style graphics, I guess.
Do more effects in game, but from a screenshot, I can definitely see how you feel that way for sure.
Candy Crush, think Candy Crush, something like that. Very cute.
It's a very cutesy style, yeah, for sure. Well, it's more cute than Candy Crush, to be honest. Candy Crush has really no style, to be honest.
Right. And this, I like how the scoring is in dollars. That just shows that it's American. Just to remind you.
Sure. The next thing I played was a Japanese indie game, Sally's Law, which is available on every single region. Basically, it tells the story between a father and a daughter. At the beginning of the game, the mother dies, and they sort of have a breakup in the relationship, and the daughter heads off to the city, and the story sort of involves from there, from getting them back together, and also solving puzzles together. And how the game does this is like, you have a first run with the daughter, and she can only jump, and the second run is as a father who can only roll around with the stick and has to bounce on the daughter to actually get jumping to different places.
That's weird.
Yeah. So you basically make the run with the first run of the daughter. So if you want to get certain items, you need to make sure to jump at that specific point and know that you need to react at that point later with the father.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's a really entertaining game. Not a too long game, I would say about 3 hours.
Okay.
But it's a really entertaining story. It's told with Japanese voice acting and really good piano music, like really good music behind it.
It's funny when you say the stories about, the mother dying and stuff, you're thinking some kind of like photorealistic game. This is like the things are basically circles. It's like
it's really weird, but at the same time it's really creative in how it tells its story, and it leaves some things really ambiguous towards the end too, until you play like the very last stage.
It reminds me, what was that early iOS game where you kind of you tilted the iPhone and it was kind of like a platformer game. I think, was it called Rolo something? It was really, really popular back in the early days of smartphone games. It looks a lot like that, and the gameplay is very similar as well.
Right.
Yeah. But so it's funny how they're using this kind of really cutesy aesthetic, but trying to tell a serious story, kind of like Celeste, I guess.
Yeah. But also at the same time, there's also a co-op option, and the co-op levels that you play are separate, are now a bit more difficult. so you can move together, but once ahead, the other one cannot really go back. So you really have to also cooperate in timing with one another, which makes it a whole lot more challenging in that specific way. But yeah, I had a really good time playing that. It was a really entertaining 3 hours. It ended where it needed to end. Even though I wanted a bit more levels towards the end of the game, but that would go a little bit into spoilers, I feel, because it would tell what actually happens towards the end. But I wanted a bit more game towards that ending. That's the only thing I feel regret about. But it was a good time for sure.
So this one is from the Japanese eShop?
Yeah,
Or...
it's in all regions, but it's a Japanese game. Yeah,
the video I just watched was a Japanese voice, but the text was in English. So I guess it was developed in Japan.
It was developed in Japan. Yeah.
Right, and they didn't have the money to ask for an English dub, I guess. Just leave it in Japanese.
They added the voice specifically for this version of the game.
Huh. Okay.
So I wonder if their budget was just enough to have those Japanese voices to begin with. But they're well enough voice acted, so I really don't have a problem with it.
Hey, the Yakuza games don't do dubs, so why should this game, right?
Hey, they used to, and they were not very good.
Right.
Wasn't Mark Hamill involved in being one of the characters or something back in the day?
Yes.
What character was he? Do you have any idea?
Oh my God!
It was the Yakuza, Mr. Yakuza.
Yes.
But I thought one of the Sopranos actors was in it. They had all these kind of wise guy actors in it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Trying to turn it into like an American gangster film, which makes no sense whatsoever.
They were trying to Phoenix Wright the heck out of it.
Right. Hey, Takeshi, I'm walking here. It's Shinjuku, I'm walking here.
It didn't work.
What?
It didn't work. Let me put it that way. And then, the final thing I've been playing is Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, the Japanese version, because I couldn't wait until May, because why would I?
Wow, you must be fluent in Chinese or Korean or Japanese.
I can understand a little bit of Japanese, not so much Korean and Chinese. So those two are falling off hard.
I was hoping to get your take on the Korean version.
Hey, there are likely plenty of Koreans who can tell you that experience for sure. But playing for Hyrule Warriors again, I just got reminded from how good like this specific Warriors game is, because the crossovers between Zelda and Dynasty Warriors are really well put together, and especially now with the improvements from the Nintendo 3DS release, where you can quickly swap characters, the action just keeps going. And it feels a lot more mission-based, which, to give context, they basically combined everything that was good about the Wii U with everything that was good about the 3DS release. So you can now, in the Switch version, you can swap characters, you can keep the action flowing, and quickly go through the levels that way, which is a lot more fun and entertaining. But it also just helps that the character variety is really there in droves, which I cannot say for every single Warriors game, because some characters felt really samey. But specifically in Hyrule Warriors, that's never the case, to me at least.
No, man, I mean, I played quite a bit of it on the Wii U back in the day, and I mean, yeah, like you said, I really liked how in the 3DS version they added that ability to, change your characters like on the fly, basically, and just to see that they kind of kept that in with, Fire Emblem Warriors, and then for, the Switch version of this, that's awesome, because I don't know about you, Don, but like, there's been so many times when I was playing the game on Wii U where I'd fail a mission because I had to run from, the top of the map to the bottom to try to like beat up some like little mini.
Yeah, that side of it is incredibly obtuse and not great to begin with. I think they rectified that with the 3DS game, but it feels a lot better now while playing it on the Switch, because you have a better feeling and understanding on what you're doing, and you can clearly make out what you are planning to do. It also helps that you can also just send your CPU characters on the mini-map to different places on the map, so you can already pre-prep them and then quickly switch over.
Is there any touch control when you're playing it undocked? Like, can you just like open the map and then touch the guy that you want to go to? Or I think you could do that on a 3D.
I've not really tried that, to be honest. If I'm being completely frank here, because
Right.
I mostly just focused on button controls, and every time I was playing it, I was just with the Joy-Cons attached to it.
There's this weird thing of like Nintendo first-party titles where they lack touch control. It's kind of this weird thing, isn't it? Like you've got a menu where you would think you could just touch the menu, but you can't.
Right.
I don't know why they're doing that, but
I mean, it's not even only Nintendo. I feel that Square Enix is leaving that option there as well, because I played for Dragon Quest Builders back in February, and I was just touching on that scroll bar, and I couldn't. Like, I had to use the controls, which I felt that shouldn't be a thing. But the big differences with Hyrule Warriors on Switch is that once you finish up the first level, you can play all the adventure maps, you can play the challenge mode, and you can play free play mode with 16 characters from the get-go. Which means that through the main story, until you get to the new content, you don't really get any new characters additionally. And all the other characters need to be unlocked through the adventure maps.
Okay.
Which I feel that's the instant reward of that felt kind of lacking. Especially maybe for new players who never played it to begin with, it might be super, super annoying.
So when you're playing for the first time, you're not really unlocking anything. Is that for a long time?
Yeah, you might unlock like a costume every 3 to 4 missions. But like the majority of the important unlocks are all in the adventure maps. So there's no reason for you to start just on the first adventure map when it's unlocked after the first mission.
Well, that's the same problem that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had, isn't it? It's like, we'll give you everything from the start, and then all you're unlocking are like, not very interesting things like machine parts or whatever.
Right, yeah.
It's kind of hard to resell the game 3 times, isn't it?
I mean, you still need to unlock certain weapons for the adventure mode, like for the actual story mode, because you need the hammer from the Wind Waker missions to get through the last 2 maps and to finish off certain missions. So there's definitely stuff you need to do in Legends mode, but I spent my majority of my time in adventure mode because that's way more entertaining and fun.
Yeah, I love that adventure mode. I mean, it's just so fun. It's a cool map, and just like all the different types of things that they're challenging you to do. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, all the maps are basically also based on the Nintendo 3DS release, which is interesting.
Okay.
So they are a bit smaller but wider. So like the Wii U ones would usually fill the screen with all the missions that you had. Now there's space on the top of bottom, but there's more wider from the left to the right.
Okay.
So it's, if you played solely the Wii U version, there's plenty of new stuff in there.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about picking this up. Well, one thing, my wife likes it, but then again, at the same time, it's like, well, I still have that Wii U version.
Yeah, it feels different enough from the Wii U game. Not so much the 3DS game, to be honest. If you played through the 3DS game, you might not need this.
Yeah, I think I just played a demo of that, and that's about it.
Then there's still plenty of new stuff for you there.
Don't do it, man.
Oh, man. I don't know. I might. Especially with some news that we have later on in the show. This kind of opens up the possibilities of my wallet a little bit. We'll see. Cool.
Yeah, that is all for me.
Okay, awesome.
Right. Cool.
All right, well, next up, Ty. You've been awful quiet. I know you love Hyrule Warriors and things.
All those great games that Nintendo makes.
Yes. What have you been playing, Ty?
Well, as maybe you've heard, I've been moving a couple cities over.
My favorite game.
Yeah. And spending a lot of time sleeping in empty apartments and just scraping by cup noodles and stuff. And some extreme poverty gaming. So
no change from usual then.
Yeah. So I've been thinking to myself about types of games and how they control, and how that I'm working on this theory that there are basically 2 types of games in the world.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Games,
good games and bad games, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, there's also the third category, mediocre games, and those are the worst to write about. Yay!
Yeah, I no, real talk. I think there's two kinds of games. There's games you enjoy like a book, and games you enjoy like a sport. And
Okay.
Some platforms work better for one than the other. And that said, I was trying to figure out what are the best like old console games that work well with a cell phone emulator with touchscreen.
Because that's the only way you can play games for the past like 4 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. I did play a little bit of Beat Mania on Game Boy. That was fun.
Wow.
So I played. So I was experimenting with some games on my phone. Games I actually already own, to be honest.
Right.
Not a pirate.
Sure, pal.
No, when I pirate a game, I'll tell you about it.
That's what they always say.
Yeah. So I played some.
You're backing up your cartridges, right?
Right. So I played some JRPGs, and I ended up playing a lot of SimCity, actually, the Super Nintendo version.
Oh, really?
On the phone, yeah. It was pretty interesting. So I'm using like an on-screen like touch controller.
Oh.
No, it works okay. I mean, yeah, it's not gonna work so well for an action game.
Right. Sorry, I just dry heaving there.
Yeah, and although I did like kind of randomly build a rail in the wrong direction every now and then. But
can I just check something, because I'm a bit worried that Ty has been replaced with a, like his alternate universe version. Ty, what is your favorite fighting game?
Killer Instinct.
Okay, continue.
I thought your favorite fighting game was Dong Dong Never Die.
That's pretty good.
No.
It's a real game, by the way, you guys.
Okay, I believe you guys.
Yeah, so
if Ty had said Street Fighter 5, I would have called for help.
Yeah, the game is bad. I don't know what to tell you about SimCity. I'm very interested to see the way the game is coded now, the way certain algorithms work in that game.
Mm-hmm.
This is where Godzilla's replaced with Bowser, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah, and Will Wright has green hair, and he advises you about the crime. Yeah.
Right.
So, I played that game a lot, like back in the day when it was new-ish. And I actually did hit like the highest ranked city where you get like 500,000 or 5 million or whatever in your city. Yeah, it's kind of tricky. It's a little easier if you unlock the custom, well, not the custom map, the special map that has no water.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys played this before? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I played the Super Nintendo one, but I played it more on like PC, and I played a hell of a lot more SimCity 2000 on PC too.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a bit different. So
yeah.
I don't really. What genre of games do you call these? Like sim games?
I just call it simulation.
Simulation games. Well, the only simulation game I like is Theme Park.
Roller Coaster Tycoon, baby.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking like Theme Park on the SNES. Well, I had it on PC as well, but Theme Parks was my only sim game that I ever got into.
I like creating death parks and Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Hell yeah. Isn't that the game where you can like sabotage a rival park by launching dead patrons into it?
Yep.
Yep.
What? Are you serious?
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Is that also the one with the Mr. Bones Wild Ride?
Yeah, those games are kind of effed up.
Yeah, that's weird. In a good way.
Based on real events.
Yeah. Let's see, what else did I play on my phone while I huddled it in the dark and cold? Played a bit of EVO. You might remember that game.
Heard of that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the one where you customize a critter and work through various stages of evolution, where you grind by murdering jellyfish over and
Spore.
over. Yeah, Spore.
Right.
Yeah, I played that a little bit.
Does this game have like a dog with it, or am I just thinking of Secret of Evermore?
You probably are.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
This game, you start as like a stupid fish.
Okay.
And then you can evolve like scales, big teeth, swordfish nose.
Okay.
Better fins. And then like after you pass, you get onto land and then you re-evolve.
Was, was this game released in America?
Yeah, it was.
Wow. How did that get past the censors?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Montana's censors, at least. Was it released in your home state?
Yeah, I actually got a copy.
Imported from the next state over.
From the guy behind my cinema.
It's actually a difficult game to find, if I remember. It's probably worth a lot of money on eBay.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's fun. Maybe not as good as it looks, but yeah, it's okay. What
Did
else?
you try Killer Instinct on SNES on your phone?
No. Yeah, I wouldn't try a fighting game. Like on the touchscreen, like L is way above the control pad. So I don't know, unless there's a way to change that, I wouldn't want to play a 6-button fighting game on it.
I wouldn't even want to play existing fighting games on the App Store or Google Play on my phone. Why would you think I would play emulated fighting games on my phone?
Right. So,
I'm sure whoever runs Script Quotes has gone through the iOS reviews for Street Fighter 4.
Yeah.
And, you know, one's saying, like, this is the best version, or...
I last saw an ad for Skullgirls on my iPhone. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's fun.
Didn't Sairus play a lot of that?
Yeah,
apparently that person's actually pretty good. Well, according to Sairus.
It's a fun game.
Okay.
It's not like a competitive fighting game kind of thing, but it's fun.
All right.
Yeah, it's a healthy reuse of those incredibly expensive assets. Let's say.
Gotcha.
What else? I played Breath of Fire. Yeah, the classic. I guess Capcom, but it was published by Square in the US. Yeah. So I played like a couple hours of that. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, jumping into a JRPG without having played it before or knowing anything. It's kind of like going back to the 90s. It was a similar experience when I jumped into Karnov the other month.
Right.
Like, wow, what is this game? What is happening? Yeah, that game's a little weird. It seemed really bare bones when I started, but I don't know. I've never actually played through it, so I imagine it gets into some zany stuff.
Let's play. Was this SNES RPG released in Europe? Originally, what do you think, Danny?
Yeah, probably not.
I'm going to guess no, since Capcom didn't even publish it themselves in America.
Don, without Googling, do you know the answer? Was this released in Europe back in the day?
I think no.
Correct. You're all correct. It was not. It was
here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. The majority of SNES RPGs were not released originally in Europe.
There you go. It's a safe bet to say no.
That's
yeah, of course.
No, the Game Boy Advance version was the first European release.
Okay, that was going to be my next question.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So you remember how I was talking about games you play like a book and games you play like a sport? So I was basically on the quest to find like the perfect old console game I could just like kind of relax and play. Yeah.
And this was that?
Yeah, that was that. Just a couple of JRPGs and Sim City. I was actually trying to fish for some suggestions. What would be a good game that doesn't require precision controls?
Well, what about all the Ace Attorney games?
Yeah.
Or specifically SNES, or?
Yeah, like let's say 8 and 16-bit.
Wow.
There's also just optimized versions of those games already available on both app stores.
Yeah, or worse versions in the case of Secret of Mana.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And Chrono Trigger, apparently.
Apparently, yeah. I'm probably gonna go back and play Dragon Quest 1 like on an NES emulator, or just like download it and then never play it.
You should try and attempt some of those weird Japanese Super Famicom like adventure games. Like
there's a series it's called Famicom Tante Club.
Yeah, Detective Club. I've been meaning to do those. Those translated, I believe.
I'm sure that. Yeah, I was going to say, it's there's a fan.
Yeah, those did cross my mind.
Yeah. There you go. I bought one of them or two of them on 3DS, and I think I booted it up. I was like, oh, cool. I got this, and I just never played it.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Dragon Quest, I have the original like cart here in Japan with me, Dragon Warrior.
Neat.
Dragon Warrior.
I got it for like $1 in America, in like my hometown a couple of years ago. So like, sure, why not?
Everybody got a copy of that in America.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
didn't at the time, but
free with the subscription of Nintendo Power.
That's right.
Right. Two things that didn't exist in Europe: Nintendo Power and Dragon Quest.
Well, there were actually magazines across Europe. I don't think the UK had them, but our country in Germany, they definitely had magazines back in the day.
Oh yeah.
By Nintendo.
Nintendo Power itself was an American.
I thought magazines were banned in Europe.
Yeah, that too. No, the UK one was called NMS, Nintendo Magazine System.
Neat.
We didn't get free games though. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was the bargain of a lifetime. Real talk.
Stickers maybe. The Street Fighter 2 sound effects CD and a Killer Instinct CD maybe.
I think ours was called the Nintendo Fun something.
Fun Club?
Fun House?
No.
Spelled H-A-U-S?
It's Nintendo Fun something. I don't remember the third word.
Okay. So that mostly wraps up what I've done. I got my Xbox hooked up. I got the internet set up like yesterday.
You downloaded the internet.
Yeah, I did download the entire internet. I've been playing.
Did you use the CD from AOL?
Yeah. No, the floppy, dude. I just
gotcha.
I used the other 500 I got in the 90s to tile my bathroom.
That would look pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. So what did I play? I hooked my stuff up. I've been playing the Overwatch event. I'm playing one of my favorite Danmaku games, Death Smiles. Apparently,
we thought about that.
Yeah. Huh. Apparently, there's like an iPhone Death Smiles game. Maybe it's like a spin-off or something.
Really?
Yeah, and it might be Japan only. So if one of you guys has an old iPhone you don't use, I would take it just to try that game out.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm probably about to get back into Dragon Ball FighterZ hard. And, and when Payday comes, I'm gonna buy Montana Simulator.
Okay, hey, speaking of Montana Simulator, you didn't get Far Cry 5?
No, I've been moving. Like I have not played a video game in like a month. Besides,
but you must have it now, right?
No, I'm so poor right now. I spent all my money moving, and Payday is Friday.
Dude, this has been like 8 months in the making. It's like you've been talking about this for like the past 20 episodes.
I have. It's just been the worst timing to come out.
And I think I actually said last episode, well, Ty's probably busy playing Far Cry 5, Far Cry 5.
Yeah, Far Cry 5.
You mean Ubisoft Open World Game 25?
Yeah, dude, all those French dudes like came to my fucking hometown, and took pictures and interviewed people and all that shit, so they could make this game.
Mocap them and like facial captions, so they could actually have them in the game.
Right. Yeah, so I'm still excited to play it, even though it's already out. I'm excited to download some more Dragon Ball characters because a couple came out in Fighters. It's gonna be busy for me. Like
I have Fighters. I need to play it more. I only played it a little bit when it came out, and then I had to do other stuff.
Yeah, it's good. Real good.
It's fun.
Yeah, I'll probably get back into Killer Instinct and all that. Yeah,
I have a good joke about, but it was kind of missed the timing. If only we could do it again. It was about the facial capture thing. I was about to say, hey, facial capture in Montana, that must be a lot easier because they've got less facial features like teeth. But it doesn't really work after we've already talked about it. But we'll edit that bit out.
Nice
I'll just
try.
edit in like a booing thing right now. Let's just pretend I did.
Boo! Boo this man. Ghost emoji.
Yeah. Yeah, so many video games, not enough time.
Yep.
Story of my life.
Cool. All right, Ty, is that all you got?
No, but let's wrap it up anyway.
Oh, okay.
Are those 27 games all you got?
Yeah. You're talking about replaying a lot of games. He played a lot of games.
Yeah. Seriously, do you want to go a little bit more? It's fine. I didn't mean to just cut you off. Like
I don't think so. I downloaded Sea of Thieves. I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet.
I'm interested in hearing more about that. Don, have you played that one?
I have a Game Pass, so I haven't technically downloaded. I have not played yet.
Okay.
Yeah, Microsoft is doing a thing where they're like main like in-house games are releasing this year. You just get them if you have Game Pass.
Wow,
they're trying to push
giving it away.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like 3 games this year, like major releases. It's that State of Decay 2 and something. Crackdown. Wow, yeah, that game still isn't out.
All of the games they originally planned for 2017 but got all delayed to 2018. Good talk.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, State of Decay is still one of my favorite games. That was the other game I was playing this week.
Sure.
Yeah. There's on the Xbox One version, there's this challenge every month, and there's like an in-game reward. So that's fun. Yeah, it's like this month, it's like run over 500 zombies. Yeah, and you get a special reward. There's one every month. So like I always do them like every month without fail because I love that game.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
Danny, that's your signal?
Yes. So
please end my suffering.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and go next with some new business. I haven't been playing a whole lot of stuff, but one thing I did play for review is Bomb Slinger, which recently came out on Switch and Steam, I believe. And so, I have a review up on our YouTube, and you can read the written one, on our website and all that stuff too. But yeah, I'm with this game's like, visual aesthetics and like all of that type of stuff. I really dug it. I thought just before I even like played the game at all, just like seeing the trailer and reading about it, I was like, okay, this sounds like something to be, kind of right up my alley. It's basically, in the simplest terms, it's, Bomberman meets like the Wild West is like the most simple way that you can describe it.
Okay.
Wiki.
Yeah. So Don, you didn't get to play this one?
I got a code for it. I hadn't had the time.
Okay.
So this is the Unabomber game?
Yes.
Oh.
In a sense, maybe.
Remember when that was the first thing everybody associated with Montana?
Oh.
I do.
If I was from there, I'd probably remember that.
Those are the days.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with Unabombers, so to say.
Who had the worst Montana joke in this episode? Send your comments to thefamicast@gmail.com.
Hey, maybe me, because I'm not going to make a Montana joke.
There it is. It's coming.
All right.
But yeah, I mean,
it does look cool. I like how when you go into that hut in the middle, it kind of turns into like an over the shoulder, but it's still these huge sprites. It's like
I mean. Yeah, visually, I mean, most of the time it's, top down and you're seeing it from like, an isometric type of a view. And,
sure.
It's kind of somewhere between a cross between maybe like 8-bit and 16-bit in terms of like visuals, I'd say. Probably closer to 16. But yeah, like James, like you said, when you go inside of like, you can go inside of a shop and it just zooms right in and you can just see like those character sprites like up close and personal. It's a really cool effect.
So is it like Bomberman? I heard there's a little bit more depth to it than that, and it's got a single player to it and everything.
Yeah, basically, yes, it does play really similarly to Bomberman, except for this time you can get. I mean, of course, with Bomberman 2, you can get pickups to like make you go faster or be able to kick bombs and stuff like that. But you can also get like other weapons throughout your playthrough. Like you can get like projectile weapons like guns and stuff like that. You can pick up different types of barrels that you could kind of use at will. But the thing is, when you're using these type of weapons, you do have like a meter, basically like, you know, you're limited with how you can use them. You can't just get a gun and then just start going crazy because you're going to run out of basically, you know, the energy to use those things. So you kind of got to use those sparingly, or just use them all like an idiot like me. And like, oh, cool, I have no more bullets for my gun. But yeah, I'm trying to think here too. Like one thing that I found not so great is that the default like walking speed seems a little bit slow.
Huh.
So I mean, it's, you know, it's not going to ruin the game or anything, but I kind of wish they would have sped it up just a little bit more. You know,
he's moseying. He's moseying. That's what he's doing.
I guess
he's moseying down. There you go.
Yeah,
it's authentic.
Yeah, this thing, I mean, as opposed to like Bomberman, this is, you know, like a roguelike type of Bomberman game. I mean, you're basically trying to go through the game in like one shot without, you know, dying and stuff. And, you know, as soon as you die, you lose all of your progress and you start back over. But
Jesus.
Yeah. But the thing is, I mean, when you start out the game, there's like a loadout that you can choose from. There's like different items or like different abilities that you can choose to have with your character. And at first, you only have like one that you can attach to your character. And these range from things like, you know, carry more bombs when you first start, have more health, have the bombs like exploding power be a little bit, you know, wider. The more you play,
so basically Bomberman.
Basically.
Roller skates.
The more you play, like the more type of these things in this loadout that you unlock, and the more that you unlock, the more that you can actually, you know, go into, you know, the gameplay with.
Gotcha.
So you can start off more powerful when you die.
Exactly. It's kind of like it's almost seems kind of like reverse difficulty, like a reverse difficulty curve. It starts out like really hard, but if you play a whole lot, it's probably going to be pretty damn easy. Like if you go in with like 3 or 4 things from, you know, from your loadout.
So it's a bit roguelike-y in that sense.
Yes. So I'm starting to find out that I really don't like roguelike games that much.
Oh, wow.
Deal with it.
I respect, you know, what they've done with this game. I think gameplay's great. I like the different abilities. I like the visual style. I like the music. I think that's great. But I could see people maybe getting a little bit frustrated with this. Just maybe kind of like the repetition and like that type of stuff. But even with all that said, it's still worth at least checking out my review, or, you know, checking out some kind of gameplay or something like that, so that you can see what it looks like when it's running, and if it's something that's kind of right up your alley. If you don't like the idea of roguelikes, you probably don't want to play this.
It also depends on what is mixed with the roguelike genre, because there have been a couple of instances where I was like, yeah, this is fun. Like Goner was a really interesting one, because basically it was a roguelike mixed with a platformer, where you pick up power-ups and shoot away at enemies with different sorts of weaponry, and had a different experience every time you did it. But it's what it sounds here, it's more on the obtuse side of what a roguelike can be.
And I mean, this is procedurally generated too. So like every time that you go into the stage, or anytime you start a playthrough, it's going to be different. Enemy placements, stage layouts, where the exit is. There's like also a boss character that you fight too, and that's always located at a different location, and it can be like a different boss as well. So that adds to it, but yeah, if you're not into that type of thing, it's probably not going to change.
Fair enough.
All right.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So James, how about you close us out?
Yo. Well, I don't have much to talk about. I tweeted out my most played games of March, and it was kind of weird. Yeah. Like Splatoon 2, Mario Odyssey. It's like, you know, these are not new games. But I guess
at least Splatoon 2 is getting constant updates, so at least there's that.
I think Odyssey was probably the Luigi balloon one, and that kind of got me back into it. And then I for some reason played the Octopath demo for an extraordinary amount of time. I really, really liked that demo.
Yeah, it's really good.
But as for I think I talked about Zeodrifter last episode, didn't I, Danny?
I think you said that briefly. You got it.
I just downloaded it. Oh yeah, because there was an offer. There was like half off. It was like, you know, 10 squids down to 5 squids, and it was something I'd had my eye on for a while. I just like loved the look of it. It's like, you know, a chibified Metroid game. And I was like, oh, like who could resist? You know, it looks so good. And so yeah, I played through that, completed it. It was a lot shorter than I thought, but it's like 4 hours basically from start to finish. And I'm sure other people have completed it in a lot faster than that. But like, it's funny how you're talking about like reverse difficulty curve, because this game, like for me at least, it started off like brutally hard, but like got easier and easier as the more I played it. So like basically you get put in this like a space map, and you can choose from 4 planets, right? You don't know, you're not told which one you're supposed to go to. And maybe I chose like completely the wrong planets to go to first, you know, because you have no indication which one you're supposed to go to. So I went to the first planet, everything just kills me, and I can't progress because there's things blocking my way. I'm like, okay, next planet. So I don't find any secrets. I just die, and then I go back to the ship, and I'm like, okay, well, I made 0 progress, but at least I know not to go to that planet. Go to the next one, same thing happens. And it's like I'm going through all the planets, and I'm like, okay, I've died in every single planet quite quickly, and I've picked up nothing. And so far I've been playing for about half an hour, and I'm like, okay, what am I doing wrong here? So I was like, okay, well, this planet I died slightly less. So, okay, I'll go here. I'll try this one again. And then I progress through, and I'm like, okay, I push through, and then I'm fighting these enemies. You've only got like 3 hits basically. And there's this giant enemy which takes like upwards of 20 hits with this little pea shooter of a gun that you have. So it's like this huge like shell crab or something, and you're like shooting it, like jumping, avoiding its attacks, like constantly hitting it, and it's like it's not dying. It's like I'm shooting it so many times, and it's like, am I supposed to be doing this? It shouldn't take this many hits to kill an enemy, which is like on the second screen of like one of these planets. The enemy explodes. I'm like, okay, it's dead. Go through, and I go through like another 3, 4, 5 screens, avoiding all these enemies, like little enemies and everything, killing them. And then I die, and then it's like, okay, go back to the ship, and then everything's respawned, everything's reset, all the pickups that I got gone. So maybe I picked up 2 health expansions. So I went up to 5 hits. That's gone, back to 3. All the enemies are back. I'm like, okay, whew, deep breath. I'm going to play this again tomorrow night because I think I've had enough of this game for tonight.
Yeah,
but it's really weird because like the visual side of it just is so attractive to me. It's just like this beautifully like pixel made game. It's just like I can't resist it. And it's like Metroid. It's like I can't resist it, right? Okay, I'll give another chance next night. So like I do that, and I get back to where I was, and I get like a little bit further, and I die again. I'm like, oh fucking hell! It's like this is like, you know, I don't know, maybe an hour's worth of gameplay, and I'm still back at the same ship with no upgrades to my name. You know, it's like it's getting annoying now. And then I finally push through. I get to the first boss, and the boss it saves before you go into the boss room. I'm like, okay, finally, fucking checkpoint in these worlds. And I picked up a few health upgrades and weapon upgrades. I'm like, okay, I've got a slightly better gun, slightly more health. I'm finding the boss, and the boss is, you know, obviously it takes way more hits than you could ever imagine. So, so basically, you have to memorize this boss pattern to, you know, just perfectly to kill it. And it took me God knows how many attempts to finally kill this boss. And then yeah, you go through there, you exit the boss room, and then there's more stuff to find, and then yeah, you die again, and again, and it's just so brutally hard. The first 2 hours of this game is so brutally hard and just very unforgiving. You feel like, you know, you're constantly being set back, you know, and it's not like a roguelike game because you don't keep any of the upgrades. If you die, you go back to the last, you know, save point. But then you do find more upgrades, and the secrets are, you know, nicely hidden, and the worlds look so like nice and beautifully designed. And then yeah, then you can go to then you get upgrades that allow you to do, you know, usual kind of things, jump higher, you know, do kind of go into the background, which is kind of like a Mutant Muds kind of thing. Don't know if anyone's ever played that. Jump to the background and stuff.
The same developer, so
yeah, same developer, same kind of very, yeah, almost identical actually, visual technique. And so these kind of things open up more places to explore, and then
Right.
it just expands and expands and expands, and it gets easier and easier and easier and easier, and then it's over, and it's just like, oh, okay, that was the last boss, cool. So you are left, feeling satisfied at the end, because you feel a lot more powerful and you're enjoying yourself. But that initial difficulty curve is just, just heartbreaking, just like, kicking you in the balls constantly until you push through, and get so. But in the end, it was very, very short in the end, I guess, but it was ultimately enjoyable. And looking back, I kind of forgive it, because I pretty much like, how it plays, how it looks, how it sounds, and everything. So
Right.
I'd really like a sequel to this, basically. Like something that's like twice as long, maybe more than twice as long, and more different kind of weapon variety and stuff like that. I think this would get really awesome to have a sequel to, I think. So yeah, for that price, I can't complain. £5, come on, that's nothing for that game. So, and I'm happy to support that developer, because I like Jules Watson. He's a cool guy. He's a nice guy. If you don't follow him on Twitter, is worth a follow. He has always got something interesting to say about game development and stuff. So yeah, what's he got next is the Chicken Wiggle
Workshop.
Chicken Wiggle Workshop, which is like Mario Maker with chickens. And then
well, it was already the level builder. They're just expanding the level builder and giving it a more drawn style. So you can still do like the pixel style from, say, Zeo Drifter and Mutant Muds, but they're now adding more of a drawn style to it. It will also have music from Grant Kirkhope.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah. That's going to be awesome. Yeah, definitely.
And the game was already good on 3DS, but it will get a bigger audience now on Switch, which I'm really excited for, because the level builder was really good.
Yeah, and
I hope we can get it. Oh, sorry, Danny. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean that game. It kind of just released in like an inopportune time too. Like it came out maybe September or something like that last year.
Yeah, and I still feel there's a market for retail 3DS games, but the eShop sale has sailed there.
Yeah,
like nobody is buying an eShop game there. And despite it like being 4 weeks on the front page of the European store, I still think that not plenty of people have bought the eShop version.
Yeah.
I hope he gets it out before Mario Maker Switch comes out.
I don't think Mario Maker Switch will be coming for a while, to be honest.
Well, Jules will be happy then, because if it's like E3 and then it's like he releases it, just as Mario Maker gets announced or something, it's like, oh god.
I hate to break it to you, it's coming out September.
That guy's got some bad luck sometimes, I guess. But yeah, Zeo Drifter, worth a shot.
He's also working on another game called Soccer Slammers, which is an arcadey soccer game with all the
cube guys.
With also the style from Mutant Muds and such.
Yeah,
so those two are his projects, which he's currently working on.
Yeah, that looks cool. Yeah, he's tweeting a lot about both of those games. So
yeah,
worth a look. Right then. That's a wrap for new business, Danny, I guess.
Okie doke. So next, we're going to go ahead and move on to now playing at thefamicast.com. Don, don't mind us while we go through a couple of little things here, and then we'll get back with the news. And
sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now playing at thefamicast.com, lots of stuff going on the site, lots of videos being uploaded to our YouTube, all sorts of stuff like that. As I was just talking about in the new business section, yes, we have a video review for Bombslinger. You can check that out. Not only that, I got to sit down with a buddy of mine. He's a streamer here in Japan. His name is The Zega. You can follow him on Twitch. He plays a lot of like Dark Souls and like that type of game. So if you're into that, or if you're anticipating, Dark Souls on Switch and kind of want to see what type of crazy things some people can do, definitely check that out. He also played a lot of Far Cry 5, which check that out as well. But what we did together, we went ahead and we played some multiplayer Bombslinger. I'm an idiot because I didn't have any banter or anything like that in there. But if you want to do,
you're playing like couch co-op.
Yes, yeah, local co-op. Nice. Part of it was like the setup just wasn't good. I don't have a good mic for that, but At any
also,
rate,
you hate him, so that's why I didn't talk to him.
Yeah, exactly. We weren't even talking. He had to sit outside.
Cool.
No, but if you want to take a look and see what multiplayer looks like with that game, it's actually fantastic and a lot of fun. Definitely check out that video.
I'm more
James.
interested in the retro stuff you've been doing.
Oh yeah, crap. Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
What do you got lined up for Famicast Retro, Danny?
Yeah, so for Famicast Retro, I changed it up a little bit. On the Famicom Classic Mini, there is a sumo game that's apparently popular enough to be on the device. So,
Right.
And you know, it's my wife. She knew about the game, and it's apparently a known quantity here in Japan. But I went through a game called Soup Buddy Ozumo on the Famicom Classic Mini. I'm going through like a tournament circuit and just basically getting my ass kicked. So please do enjoy.
That's the box behind you, right? In the video version.
To
your left?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's not in the box. You actually took it out of the box. Well done.
Yeah, yes, I actually played that one.
Good job.
Thank you.
Cool. As for me, you've hopefully all seen the stream I did of the Sweet versus Salt Popcorn Splatfest, and that was a lot of fun. That was just me because Sairus had already gone back to Ireland at that point, but it was a lot of fun.
James, in our Famicast Friday article, I put a funny quote from you. I just said, yes. Did you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Remind me again.
It's I just put like, watch me play Splatoon while I'm eating a bucket of popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did. Slash didn't. And while we're talking about Splatoon, me and Danny had a Patreon exclusive stream of Splatoon 2. We played some Salmon Run and some regular Turf War together. And that is the final episode of the final audio episode of Super Splat Hour. But we're going to keep going with video versions of that in the future, but it's not going to be a podcast. It's going to just be a stream. So hopefully you'll get to see that. And yeah, we've got some reviews on the site as well.
Yeah.
John, friend of the show, John Cousins, he's been doing a review of, is it Devious Dungeon?
Yes.
That's what it's called, right? Devious Dungeon on the Switch, and it's kind of like a pixel art kind of hack and slash game. Looks kind of cool. So yeah, check out the review of that. And we also have my review of Zero Drifter. And also another, freelancer, friend of the show, Michael. He has reviewed a game called Midnight Deluxe, which is a kind of a, I don't know, what do you call that? Like a physics-based puzzle game, I guess.
Yeah, looks kind of like Limbo, right?
Graphic style, yeah.
It's I would call
that's
it
the only
more,
relation to
I would call it more like sort of a golf game where you start from a perspective and then have to shoot the ball a certain direction, then deliver it into the goal. It's kind of puzzly, but it feels more like a weird golf-esque game.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so be sure to check those reviews out if you're thinking about buying either of those games. So that's all I'll say for that. Probably just read what I'm trying to say there. That's right. And of course, Famicast Friday coming up real soon, / already gone, if you're listening to this on Friday or after Friday.
Yes.
All of this and more. Famicast game.
All right. Well, James, I think you know what time it is.
Sit your asses down, son. It's time for the Japanese.
That's right. Tons and tons of stuff going on. Not really.
Danny, we're making the news this week.
We are. I saw this. And James,
so,
yeah, go for it.
Can I speak?
No.
Jesus, man. So yeah, we asked the developers of Blossom Tale if they're going to make a Japanese version, a Japanese localization of it, and apparently they are. And this became news because they hadn't actually announced that before then. So yeah, Japanese localization incoming. And then finally I'll be able to download it because I like downloading stuff from the Japanese eShop because, you know, I have Japanese money. That's what my salary is. Yes. After that, what's the other game that I want that's not on the Japanese eShop?
Don't know, man. I'm not you.
No.
Which one of the over 500 games could it be?
Man. So one of the good ones. Oh, Celeste. Thank you, Celeste.
Oh, okay.
Celeste is not on the Japanese eShop, and yeah, I should get on the developers for that as well. Is there much to localize in that, Don?
Yeah, there's a lot of text.
Ooh,
a
maybe.
lot of text.
No voices,
one of the chapters is basically half a visual novel.
Oh,
Ooh, boy.
okay. Maybe that's why it's not in the Japanese eShop then.
And it also talks about some pretty hefty subjects. I'm not sure how it would translate well into Japanese.
Okay, might have to bite the bullet and just get the European version of that one then.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else have we got next, Dan?
Well, something
Danny.
that
I can't say Dan now, can I? Danny.
Danny, that's fine. Something that our good buddy John Cousins, aka Egotaku, he tweeted out. So in Japan, and I'm done. I don't think you're like our only person outside of Japan right now, so I can only confirm with you. But in Europe, do they have like download cards that you can buy for games, or is that just?
Yes, but they usually only are available during the week of its release. The codes won't work, but it will be available once the game is very close to its release.
Gotcha. That's pretty similar to how it works here too. Like the game, you cannot basically if you enter in the code, it won't work until like the game is launched. But,
right. The Donkey Kong's not out yet, right?
No.
It's May 8th.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, they're everywhere. You can buy these cards right now.
Yeah, and
I did coverage for it for Game Explain. So if you want to hear my thoughts, me and Andre talk about it for 25 minutes.
Sweet.
Nice.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, John went ahead and took a picture of the Japanese prepaid card. Pretty cool little art, like on the card itself. Funky is just like right there, right front and center. Looks pretty cool.
Are you getting this, Danny?
I probably shouldn't. I have it on Wii U, and I haven't even played it.
Is it the Japanese one on Wii U?
Yeah,
you could probably sell it if it's still sealed.
No, it's not.
It's not sealed. Well,
I think it's actually in my Wii U. Like I was playing it at one point.
Take that shit out, sell it, put the money towards the Switch version.
It's a Christmas present from my wife.
Just say Merry Christmas as you sell it.
Okay. I'm too sentimental of a guy to just.
I will just say funky mode is pretty funky, and you should funkify your way to the Nintendo Switch.
Don't say that.
Say that to your wife.
Funkify your way to the Nintendo Switch. I said it again.
Oh, just say, "Woman, I want to get funky." Yeah. She'll know what you mean.
Yes. All right.
Also, a cute touch. I won't say too much because honestly, you should watch the coverage. But they removed the 3DS from the idle animations. It's now a Switch.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Maybe you had tweeted it out, or somebody tweeted it out somewhere. But
yeah, there's a long running tradition of Donkey Kong playing on Nintendo consoles on his idle animations, right?
Yeah.
Was it like the Game Boy and like what was it, Donkey Kong Country?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That. Okay.
I can't remember the Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3. Was it also Game Boys or?
I don't exactly remember.
I know there was an N64 in Donkey Kong Country 3, not as an idle animation, but like in the background.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah. There's a history of Nintendo consoles being in Donkey Kong games. How's that?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, this next bit of news seems like it's right up Ty's alley. Ty is so into these type of.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yes.
Sega Ages. That sounds familiar. Basically, classic Sega titles are coming to the Switch in the summer. We have a list.
Hey guys, if you spell Sega backwards, it says Ages.
Wow. Oh my god. All right, we got Sonic the Hedgehog, surprise, surprise.
Bad game.
Alex Kidd in Miracle World, ground game.
Worst game.
Thunder Force 4. Noted, good game.
Okay.
And Phantasy Star.
That's a good game.
The games are developed by M2, the guys that did 3D Sega Classics, Game Gear Virtual Console on 3DS, and the Seiken Densetsu Collection on Switch.
Well, they also did GBA Virtual Console on Wii U, and they did Virtual Console Arcade on Wii.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know they did Virtual Console Arcade. Cool.
I love paying shit tons of cash for ROMs.
Good emulation.
Yeah. But the good thing is, A, it's good emulation. B, M2 usually is pretty good with adding features. To the Sega classics. Like on 3DS, for example, they added a drop dash to Sonic the Hedgehog, which was something from the later Sonic the Hedgehog games, which made the original Sonic the Hedgehog a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow. Some quality ROM hacks.
Yeah. They are the masters of taking a ROM and just adding stuff to it that they find interesting. Yeah. I remember them adding a time trial mode to Outrun, and it was the most insane thing ever.
Really? What was that? Oh, just time trial?
Time trial, you could do it in a singular one or there's specific tracks.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to scoff, Ty. I know.
It is.
You know,
and fun too.
M2 are the only ones I trust with emulation stuff. But also, the guys who do stuff internally at Nintendo for, say, the NES and the Super Nintendo classics, which are NERD, Nintendo's European Research and Development. They are also do good stuff, but they are basically the only two I would trust with any sort of emulation.
Yeah.
All right.
And I mean, this isn't on our agenda, but you know, like Sega, there was a big Sega event that happened here recently, and they showed off, you know, basically the essentially the Genesis Mini, and it just turned out that
it's made by Ad Games.
Exactly, which is the guys that brought the crappy thing that came out last year.
Talking about people who make bad emulation, they are the pinnacle of people who make bad emulation. Gosh darn it!
So Don, did you actually play this piece of crap?
Oh, I have one or two at Games machines because I was sent them.
It's punishment for your sins.
This came with a message, I'm sorry.
I returned to them with a very bad review, and they were not happy.
Well, make a better product. I mean, you know.
Yeah, but when it comes to not trusting people with emulations, they are the pinnacle because they will make it run really bad. The audio will be very muddy, and third, they will add to it with crap games that are not even Sega games. Like they will put memory games in there, like weird maze game. They will just fill it up with their own stupid bullshit.
What is that? What product are we talking about there?
The ad game minigame consoles based on Sega consoles. So ad games are a company.
It looked like a Mega Drive.
Yeah, but previously ad games already made like full-scale versions of those, like things like look like a Mega Drive or like a Game Gear or what have you. All of those had really bad emulation, and basically people were slightly excited for a small period when the Mega Drive or the Sega Genesis Mini was announced during that Sega conference. Then the next day it was announced, oh yeah, Ad Games is making it again. Sorry guys, see you later.
My favorite thing about that was that At Games tweeted out like, "Yep, we're behind it, we're doing it," and then they quickly had to delete it because obviously someone at Sega had said, "Yeah, take that down. We don't want people knowing that." But it was too late then anyway.
Yeah.
Good times.
I don't trust them for a singular second.
Yeah,
a singular second.
It just baffles my mind. Like, why the hell didn't they like get a hold of M2 to work on the emulation side of it when they've done so much good stuff for Sega? You know, in the past with these 3D classics.
For Nintendo, for Sega, for Square Enix, they've done plenty of good stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Maybe they just wanted too much money, and they're like, "Well, that game's a good discount, discount shop. Let's go ahead, just farm it out to these guys."
At Games made the right amount of green tea and had the right amount of meetings. So there you go.
There it is.
That's how it's done in Japan. So more bad news, I guess. Dark Souls Remastered on Switch is delayed, and the other versions are not. So it was going to be released on May 24th/25th, but it's now going to be released in summer. No specific details were given other than various circumstances. That's pretty unspecific, isn't it?
I like it.
Some people are speculating it's like something to do with the online, but we don't know. And also the Amiibo has been pushed back, so That's it.
What I'm thinking
Game over.
here, and this is something I heard from hearsay because I talk to developers about this stuff a lot. What I've been hearing about, particularly about Dark Souls Remastered, it didn't run well on Switch behind the scenes.
Fair enough.
They made a slice demo during conventions, which ran a whole lot better, and it gave people certain expectation. But the actual game didn't run all too hot, so they're now going back to the drawing board and making sure it does run well on Switch.
Well, I mean, it's easy again as it is to bitch about something like this. I mean, if that is the case, that's a good thing because rather than just releasing something that's just half finished crap and then patching it later, but like, why not just get it right out of the gate? So
nobody wants another Rime situation because Rime released and it was not good when it released on Switch, and then only 5 months later was it fixed.
Yeah, and that would be it. Yeah,
but by that time it was dead to everyone, right?
Basically,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, and is this being published? Who's publishing it on Switch? Do we know?
Bandai Namco.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah. Good luck to them. That's fair enough that they made that call. It's not like Skyrim, which is like published by Nintendo. It's not like Nintendo was saying no, you can't release it half broken. So third party is saying that's good. Got quality control. Yeah. Right then.
Well, my amiibo's already purchased, so it'll come whenever the game's ready. I guess.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Well.
All right then. Okay, so I'm going to open up. So Japanese Nintendo news, friend of the show. Japanese Nintendo, great website for all your Japanese Nintendo related news. There's a lot of Miitomo stuff.
One thing I do want to mention is that they have now added a sort of a loot box to Animal Crossing Pocket Camp on mobile.
Wow, you just said a whole lot of things that I don't care about.
Yeah. which I think is the most terrible thing. Well, it's not the most terrible thing, but it's pretty shady from how they set it up, because it's kind of, I don't know, I feel it sort of stops what I personally think Animal Crossing should be about. It's like having one full-on experience. Basically, you now buy fortune cookies, which are 50 leaf tickets each, and they give you a random piece of furniture from a certain set.
Wow.
They've also added an $80 leaf tickets bundle to their in-game store.
Oh man.
It's like, in the game, I expect being screwed over by Tom Nook, but, I don't want to get, screwed over in real life. I mean, come on.
This is like the Emperor revealing his true face, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ultimate power!
I just think, honestly, I just think it's super disappointing. I really didn't care about that game to begin with, but I'm full on, I will never go back to that game.
Right. So just to recap, garbage game gets more garbage and now charges you money to be garbage. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So MotoGP 18 is coming to Japan. That's a motorcycle game, Danny.
Yeah.
It's like F1, but with motorbikes.
Don't know what you're talking
those
about.
are two things that Americans are not interested in, right?
If it's not a dirt bike, I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Immortal Redneck is actually coming to Japan. It's going to be called.
Surprised to see that. That's
weird. Fushio no Meikyu is going to be the subtitle.
Don't dox me.
And it's going to cost just shy under 2,000 yen on 10th of May. And there's a Japanese trailer of it as well. It's amazing. That game is fucking weird.
Sequel to Redneck Rampage?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And Far Cry 5. So SD Gundam G Generation Genesis, Danny, is coming to Switch on the 26th.
Sure.
That's next week, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, there's a commercial for it in Japan. I mean, this could be pretty. This has potential to be quite big. These kind of games usually enter around about the number 1 or number 2 slot when they get released in Japan. So
there's been a ton of these type of games on 3DS and
but
stuff.
I remember. I mean, there's a lot. I know there's a lot of PlayStation owners in in Japan, like a lot of my students, for example, they're university students, and they are obsessed with Gundam still into their when they're 18, 19 years old. And they said, I've talked to several people who've said, like, the reason I'm not getting a Switch is because there are no Gundam games on Switch, or I don't think there are any yet, are there? Maybe, is this the first one?
This is the first one, yeah.
Yeah, so this could actually, convince even more people to get a Switch in Japan. I know it's nothing to the rest of the world, but it is kind of a big thing in Japan. And that's why they got a TV commercial. Gonna be big. Good luck to them.
Yes.
Seriously. Okay, what the hell is this game? Sky Piece.
Yeah, it was already on Wii U. It's a bad game.
Okay, brilliant.
It's
It's 100 yen though? $1?
Yeah.
What?
It's basically an endless flying game where you press the A button.
Endless flying is what we need.
Endless flying. Or endless frying.
Did I say frying? I might have.
Yeah, either or. Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Same game. In Japan, it's the same thing.
Yes.
Flying and frying. The Snack World. We talked about this in the previous episode. The Snack World Treasures, or whatever it is. So it is a combination of all the DLC and like an HD up-resed version of the 3DS games. And it's #1 in Japan. Sold 35,000 pretty much in the first week. The Switch is outselling the PS4, as you would imagine, still. That was obviously a big deal. So this is last episode we talked about the possibility of Yokai Watch maybe coming to the Switch in Japan, at least anyway. And obviously Pokemon's on the way sometime.
Honestly, I think Yokai Watch 4 will be a Switch game. Like, there is no question in my mind, because basically the president of Level 5, already said that all of their 3DS franchises will all turn to Nintendo Switch.
Also, Dan, have you played Yokai Watch 1 or 2 on 3DS?
I reviewed them, and I played a little bit of 3, but not much.
I was going to say, what do you think are the chances of 3 being localized?
It's interesting because I still think that the show is going in Western markets, so there's definitely a chance. But it's also the situation of interest is declining, because recently they also shut down the mobile game they localized, and the community who actually was supporting Yokai Watch in the West had actually influence on what events would actually happen in the Western version, which was super interesting to see. But they decided to close down that mobile game.
Is that the one where you could scan the medals with the barcodes?
You could too, but it's more of a puzzle game. What I think it was.
Okay.
But they closed that down, and now I'm just wondering if Yokai Watch in general is a bit on decline now. Because the games are still selling decently well in Europe, especially together with 2DS. I'm not so sure about America. It never seemed to take off in a way I was anything taking it seriously, because I still see it pretty much promoted into European toy stores. I never heard anybody telling me like it's big here in America, because I don't think it is.
Yeah. For a personal thing, it's like I know when I was in America back in like October, like my nephews and my nieces, they didn't know anything about it at all. I don't know. And that's not like 100% way to gauge, the whole of America, but
yeah, it is.
The second game was also translated in my own language, in Dutch. Like the first game wasn't.
Nice.
But because of the popularity of the television show, they translated the second game into my language.
Did they localize all the yokai?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they translated everything. It's really interesting.
What's Squeak Cheeks in Dutch?
I don't know. I've not personally checked that. I always play games in English.
That's your homework.
But
the third one, the point of the third one was that we talked about this in our last episode, but like it's a Japanese boy going to America. So like, how would you translate that into like English?
And it's also a girl going to Japan. Like They're both going in opposites. Yeah, they're both sides to it. So there's definitely something they can do to make that work in some a certain way. How I wouldn't know. I'm not a localized or producer, but I definitely think it's technically possible to do that. But the question is, Europe is more of a certainty than America. Would they rely on Europe? And you could point to Inazuma 11 and say, of course they could. But the thing is, they never localized the last Inazuma game because it was dropping off at that point too.
Fair enough. I actually downloaded that app, the European version of the Yokai Watch app, because my son has tons of the Yokai Watch medals, which he bought here in Japan. And then I tried to scan them on the European app, and all the medals are actually region locked. So can't, yeah, so they don't work at all. It's like, this does not recognize it. It didn't recognize it even as a medal. It was like, nope.
Right.
So there you go. Rip in peace. Okay. Any other news to mention? Dan, this one's up your alley. A Danish. Oh no, sorry, wrong country.
Expect this out of somebody like me, James. Come on.
I think because it started with DAN, so I was like, oh, Dan's here. A Danish studio. Above, there's a game called Above, which is an action adventure which takes place in the parallel flooded world where you fly planes. Yeah, anyone heard of this one?
No.
At a loss here.
Above. The poster looks interesting. I guess this is like it's like a shoot 'em up.
Right.
It looks looks kind of cool. So yeah, I think that's all about we have for news. Ty, there's a second adult title for Nintendo Switch coming up, in case you're interested. It's called Naniga Hoshino Emma Sakura.
Oh.
And it only costs 500 yen.
Yes. Oh, but I'll tell you, I think
you
I was
downloaded the pornography game from last time?
Hold on. I was drinking with a friend, and I was just perusing the eShop, and then I saw this because I think we mentioned this maybe the last time. Yep. But I went into the shop just to see, okay, what the hell? And like, yeah, the base game is like 500 yen. Mm-hmm. And it's just like a lot of just like conversations. You could see like just her in like a bathing suit or some, black.
But if you want the good stuff, you got to pay for it.
But it's probably not even that good. I mean, and it's like something like between 300 to like maybe 1,000 yen a pop or something. So
to be fair, like, what is worse, this or that Senran Kagura game?
Oh, I mean, this is like an actual like pictures of a real woman. I don't know. It depends on what you value as like bad or good, I guess. But
this last thing. Okay, I'll mention this one. Does anyone like Mega Man / Rockman music?
Yes, I do.
Who doesn't?
There is a concert, a 30th anniversary, a Rockman 30th anniversary live concert held in Tokyo on the 8th of July. And tickets are 7,500 yen. And there will be lots of
cannot wait till we never go to it.
So Ty, get your ass to Tokyo in July.
All right, I think I'll probably be out of town then.
Okay.
Excuses.
If anyone's listening and in Japan, there you go. Or if you're planning on coming to Japan. The Wave. We didn't talk about Wave Race. The Wave Race. One of the Wave Race producers said he kind of like gave like a hint that they might be working on a Wave Race game.
I think it was. I saw what you're talking about. It was basically a comment that's like, "Oh yeah, I like Wave Race," I mean, or something like that.
Wasn't it Shinya Takahashi, like the head of all development at NCL, saying that's a cool idea. We want to do it at some point, maybe. We'll see, huh?
But there was like a wry smile to it. You might hear from that in the future. Wink, wink.
That's what they do for everything. Like, mother free, huh? Maybe we'll see. Wink, wink.
I think we see this from developers sometimes when they want to shore up excitement so they can actually pitch it to their management.
Yeah.
Right? And a tale eternally retold. So maybe if a bunch of people react to this and say, "Oh, we want Wave Race," maybe it'll happen.
I want Wave Race.
I want 1080 more than Wave Race, though.
I like Wave Race.
This situation is weird because if Metroid Prime 4 can happen, technically anything is possible.
That is very true. Wow, yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, I forgot that was coming out.
Yeah.
Is it?
Because basically they said after the third one we're kind of done with it, and now they're making a fourth one.
Right.
So technically anything is possible in this new Gracie Nintendo world.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I think Kojima said that like 4 times as well with Metal Gear.
Yeah.
He's got no choice about it now, though.
Well, he's no longer with Konami anymore.
There you go. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Then they make a stupid zombie game.
Yep. Okay. Well, yeah, that's news.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Danny?
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to some feedback. So if you want your comments, question, anything read out on the air, you can email us at thefamicast@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Twitter at thefamicast. You can also hit us up on Facebook, right here on YouTube, obviously. And you can have your comment or whatever read out on the air like these guys. But before we do that, I wanted to send out a quick reminder of our contest that we're currently running. Basically, if you write us a review on iTunes, Google Play, what was it, the Zune Store, whatever the hell, you are
store.
Yes, you are going to be automatically entered into a contest, so you can win $10 from the North American eShop and an additional 1,500 yen in eShop credit as well. Like I said, write the review. If possible, do some kind of a screen cap. It's easier for us to kind of keep track of that, and then tweet that at us or something, and you'll be entered to win. We're going to be, I'll be putting something out on our Twitter probably maybe around the end of the month, so be on the lookout for that. So,
fair enough.
But in terms of feedback, we do have actually kind of a long email from a guy that's emailed us a couple of times now. And,
Jeff64 up in the house.
Yeah. Well, James, do you want to?
Yeah, his real name is Jefferson Cuba.
Yes.
And
do you want to read that email?
Yeah, he emailed us when he was thinking about. Oh no, he was on the way to Japan or just arrived in Japan, maybe. And he says, we've got an update from him. He says, "Hi guys, it's me again. I'm moving from Nanao to Hakui. Nothing's really changed. It's just another small town in Ishikawa. I don't know what it is, but I am so happy. Maybe it's because of Golden Week coming up. But since I came here last July, it has been work nonstop. My new girlfriend wants to go to Kyoto. I want to stay home and play Switch and learn hiragana with karaoke joy sound. my dumb solution to learn Nihongo. So since we're both going to Kyoto, do you guys have any suggestions for things to do or places to visit? Both game and non-game related."
Yeah, boy.
Thank you for your great work. My favorite thing in that email is that it says "my new girlfriend," which which suggests he's had a few since the last email.
new girlfriend XL?
Yeah, LL in Japan actually.
Yeah.
So yes, Golden Week is coming up. Golden Week is a bunch of national holidays that just kind of coincidentally all come together. So everyone in Japan has 5 days off, which is the longest holiday they'll have the whole year.
The whole life.
Right.
And the only time they get to see their wives for most husbands. Also, a lot of movies come out. There's this kind of weird tradition of you often see these commercials which end with GW debut, which basically means it's coming out in Golden Week.
Yep. This year it's Infinity War. It's coming out.
Oh yeah, GW debut Infinity War.
It is.
It's called Infinity War in Japanese.
War, yeah.
Right. So Danny, first of all, joy sound, is that a good way to learn Japanese?
Well, I can't comment on the Switch version because I haven't booted it up But I can't with the Wii U version. I mean, if you're singing songs and stuff like that,
do you have
a good way to?
You got hiragana? Have you got romaji options?
No, usually it depends on the song and the with the company and what they have. Yeah, I don't really remember specifically for the game, but like I said, it seemed like it was just kind of dependent on songs. Some of them have like the furigana over the kanji and stuff, but you're never going to find one that's just all hiragana or all katakana or anything like that.
Okay. And for English songs, they have English with kind of katakana above it as well. Yes, sometimes, don't they?
Yeah, just to assist Japanese people if they can't read the English, they can.
A whole new world.
Yes.
Right.
Literally.
I sang Jump Up Superstar in the Japanese Switch version.
Oh, cool.
Oh, they've got that? Nice.
Yeah, they have both the Japanese and the English versions of that song.
Nice.
Cool.
Awesome. So yeah, get on that, Jeff.
Yeah. So no, I think that's a decent way to learn, because I mean, I'm shit when it comes to like reading Japanese. Like I'm really slow, and when I'm singing, I mean, you kind of got to be fast. If you know the song, then it's easier to kind of do that. So yeah, not a bad way.
If I may,
I'll allow it.
Get this book. It's called Easy Kana Workbook. You can learn all that shit in a weekend, and it's somewhere between $1 and $10 on Amazon. Just get it, Easy Kana Workbook, and just knock that out, and then you'll know hiragana and katakana.
There you go. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, when I was learning hiragana and katakana, I mean, it was just, this is like 12 years ago. It was just every day studying in flashcards. Just that was it. I mean,
it's even easier now. There's so many apps for it as well.
Yeah.
It's like even Duolingo has a Japanese mode now, which is like a free language learning tool, in case you didn't know. So yeah, get that as well.
I recommend the book though. It's so good. It's so good. It's the boot camp that everyone needs.
True that. So Kyoto, he's going to Kyoto with his new girlfriend. So game related, I don't Kyoto and games don't really go to, ironically, other than going to the Nintendo headquarters, of course, which all you'll be able to do is take a photo outside and go, hey, I'm at Nintendo, and then that's all you'll be able to do before you ask politely to move.
You should sneak over to Osaka.
Yeah, if you want to go, if you want some games, Osaka is probably your best bet. But like for non-game stuff, Kyoto is obviously, one of the best places in Japan. It's like, if you want culture, I mean, it's like, one of the oldest cities in Japan, and pretty much every street has something there.
Yeah, literally like 1,000 temples in the town or something like that.
Yeah, you can't walk for culture and history and, amazing, beautiful things. And Bit Summit coming next month. Yeah. If we get enough patrons to help us get there. Hint, hint. We didn't talk about it in new business. Not new business. Now playing. But we're looking for a few more patrons to get us to Bit Summit in Kyoto. That's that's your answer to the game related things in Kyoto. Bit Summit. Yeah, that's literally the only thing.
After Golden Week.
yeah, exactly. That'll all be done and dusted. So go to Osaka, which is how far from Kyoto? Maybe less than an hour, right?
Minutes. Maybe by train.
Yeah, it's basically attached. So go over to Nipponbashi, and it's like Akihabara Jr.
Right.
No, I've been there. It has some really nice shops. It was actually very cheap when I went there, and I found some some weird games that like the kind of stuff I put on Faker Reel.
Yeah.
Like just tuck those in my bag.
There are multiple super potatoes there.
Exactly.
And then I found a chicken place called Funky Junk Chicken, so I had to eat there.
Yeah, and there might be some game tournaments in the neighborhood. Maybe that's why I went.
Danny, what was that clothes shop that you took a picture of? Was it called like Horzaras or something?
No, it's something sluts.
Oh, that's sluts.
I think I don't even know if my wife had an explanation for it. I can't even imagine what they were trying to say. I'd have to dig that up. That was like years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, remember, this is a country where there's a band called Kinky Kids. So anything can happen.
For real?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a bunch of guys, adult men.
They're pretty popular too.
Yep.
Okay.
Next. So anyway, Jeff, keep us updated and let us, send us your snaps of Kyoto with your new girlfriend. Not those snaps, the other ones. the ones that you take outside.
Yes.
So Danny, I guess this next one is aimed at you.
Yeah, so I posted a sneak preview for one of our Famicast retro videos over on Patreon. Just so you're aware, too, if you are one of our patrons, even if it's just the $1 tier, you have access to basically all of our video content, like pretty much as soon as we're done editing and uploading. It's pretty much right there. But, for the Famicast retro, I had the video up there for Tsubario Zumo. And Rich, I'm pretty sure he's just trolling. But he said, I can't believe this has never been localized. It's like, well, yes, it's a pretty Japanese game. Yeah.
Yeah, Sumo's huge.
Yeah. Yes.
Literally. But only in Japan.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So moving on to some Twitter comments. So at Gyros Wrath, he says he loves the Switch illustration in the thumbnail for episode 123, and we've got to give props to Sairus, who drew the Super Famicom style Switch that we use in our artwork. Thanks for noticing, and I wish Sairus was here to say something, but he'd probably say, "Oh, thanks for that comment there, lad." Something like that, anyway. So now we're going to move on to some our new feature, which we've forgotten to do the past couple of episodes, which is let's answer 84 players' questions that they didn't answer on their own podcast.
Oh, I'm glad you waited for me to come back because I love these.
There you go. So let's just mop up because they've done like maybe 2 or 3. We haven't even finished the first batch, so let's just go back to the first batch. So this one, has anyone played Faxanadu?
Yeah, I have extensively.
Yes.
What of it?
So Adam Williamson at ReFoom has asked A4Play /us. Do you think we will ever see a sequel / remake of Faxanadu? I absolutely loved that as a kid.
Who developed that game?
Who owns the licenses
to
such old Hudson Soft games? Hashtag
Konami owns the copyright now.
Oh, really? What was it made by Hudson?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Konami is not really a video game company anymore, so
well, they are making
exclusively
Castlevania for iOS.
No, they're exclusively pachinko and shitty iPhone games. That's all they make now.
I rest my case.
Oh, there you go. I prefer pachinko over iOS games.
Man, yeah, there's a. I took a glance at the Wikipedia page for Faxanadu, especially. It seems to be connected to other things somehow. Yeah.
So our answer is no.
Nope.
Wait. Let me delve into some trivia here.
Okay.
Xanadu is a spin-off or side story of Xanadu, which is the second installment of Falcom's long-running RPG series, Dragon Slayer.
Huh.
What? Yeah.
The old Falcom?
I guess. I mean, if we're talking 80s.
Yeah.
I've got one other bit of trivia for you that's not in this Wikipedia article. There was a Captain N episode with Faxanadu.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that was not a fever dream I had. I'm pretty sure that was real.
Wow.
Well, excuse me, Ty. Same show, right?
No.
Close enough.
That's the Zelda show.
The Mario. Dun, 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 dun.
That's still not Captain N, but okay.
Okay.
I guess there's a Faxanadu 2 that actually exists.
Huh.
Unless this is a fan game, whatever. I'm getting results on Google for it.
Okay, next question. Y'all's like J-pop? Sorry, this is from Jackie at Jackie-nomics. He says, y'all like J-pop? What kind of J-pops y'all's like? Me love me some Milia. Yeah, I'll take this one. Nope. I think J-pop is the scourge of the earth, and it should be. It's not even classified as music.
I like certain J-pop. It sort of depends on the artist.
That's such a brilliant continuation of my comment.
I used to like Ram Rider, but he hasn't made music in a while. One of the current bands I sort of like, but the music in the background is more technical than J-pop, so I'm not sure how that qualifies in Japan per se. But I really enjoy Capsule's music a lot.
Capsule.
Yeah.
All right. Danny, you're quiet on this one. Are you ashamed?
Yeah, I'm ashamed. No, I got nothing. Some things I absolutely detest, but some things I'll hear like at my school, or I'll see something on TV and I'm like, oh, okay.
For me, it's kind of like every music genre. There's good stuff and there's bad stuff.
I agree.
I half agree with that comment.
The only genre of music I totally give not a singular F about is country music.
Hey, how dare you? My tractor is sexy, damn it.
I'm a country boy, and I hate country music.
Oh, no Garth Brooks for you then, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say who said this on Twitter, but someone on Twitter said that they were making fun of my favorite kinds of music, which is like hip hop and rap. And then I asked them what they were interested in. They said, well, I like, Vocaloid and J-pop. And that's when I hit the unfollow and block button. Next. What do we got here? Okay. I don't think we can answer that one. But does anyone have anything funny or crazy that happened in a video game store? Or a game launch?
A game launch or a video game store?
Funny or crazy?
In Japan?
Well, yeah, these are all like in Japan.
Is it allowed to talk from a business perspective? Because I can talk. I think it has been long enough. I can talk to you about the Wii U launch event I had back in 2012.
Okay, if it's funny or crazy, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
So,
preferably both.
So basically, I've been to a Wii U launch party. It was before the Wii U came out. They hold it in a very fancy club somewhere in Amsterdam. So I also had to take a ride from a friend to that specific location from the main station, which was fantastic. Well done, Nintendo there. But the whole party was pretty awful. So for half of the guests they invited were all famous Dutch people, and they couldn't care a shit. They were there to pick up their Wii U's and then left promptly. And then the host of the show, once again a very popular person, just went on stage and just started singing a whole bunch of Sync Party with a bunch of other people, and nobody gave one singular shit.
Sing Party isn't that like a Sony game?
And Sync Party was a launch title by the people who made DJ Hero for Wii U.
That was on Wii U? Okay.
Yeah. And there were game stations. People could play some Wii U. They could play Nintendo Land. But the only people who were playing were the children of the famous people and none of the press people because they already played it. And none of the actual PR normal guests. Nobody was playing. Only the kids of those famous people. So at the end of the night, I was done. I said, "Thank you very much." So I asked them literally, "So when am I getting the Wii U? Because I'm obviously going to cover it for the next foreseeable future." And they told me that they had no plans to send me one, despite literally behind the counter there is a stack of like 30 Wii U's.
Amazing. Whew. Man, I don't have anything in Japan.
Yeah, I don't have anything anywhere. Any time a launch thing I've ever done has been pretty tame.
I mean, I was here for the most recent one, probably the Dragon Quest XI launch when it was on 3DS, and PS4.
Yeah, I was in.
Right.
I mean, I reserved it, but I reserved it on Amazon, and I was out of the country for like work at the time. I couldn't even like get to experience anything.
Right.
Do arcade location tests count for this? Because I've been
Oh.
to a number of those.
There you go.
Yeah. Years and years ago, I saw the location test for arcade Rhythm Tengoku.
Oh,
Huh.
Yeah, like I was surprised. Like, wow, it's like the GBA game, like straight up in an arcade cabinet.
Yeah. I played it. I wasn't the location test. I just played it regularly.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was cool. Nothing funny happened. You remember me and Sairus went to the Pokken location test. I think that was the first time he was on the show, wasn't it?
yeah.
I think that the episode title was called Pocation Test.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, we had a fun time heading out to wherever the fuck that was.
Brilliant.
So it was kind of a far-flung location, if I remember. Yeah. Oh, that's a good memory. Tried out the weird controller. Oh, we left some feedback. Yeah, I imagine we talked about that. The feedback we left, like there was like a forum, and you could like also add your own comments. I think I requested. Yeah, I like regular arcade sticks.
Not this.
Yeah,
weirdo controller.
Yeah, and like I remember, I had such a glowing impression of the game, and then when they added a you know what, like I did a 180 on the game. It sucks now.
All right.
By that I mean the progression system.
Oh, you say bad netcode.
Yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah. I went to the Japanese Skullgirls arcade location test. That was interesting. Yeah. There was somebody there was handing out like free badges, and I don't know if they were associated with the companies in question or not. I almost got like a volunteer vibe. But I got a nice misfortune pin, and over the course of the day, like the game started running slower and slower. So yeah, that's why they test these things.
Brilliant. Well done.
Yeah.
I've just remembered I actually have been to a location test. It wasn't really on purpose, but like I just happened to be in Akihabara at the time, and it was the Mario and Sonic at the Olympics it was games arcade location test, and
Fake.
I just like yeah, which is the weirdest thing ever, right? So I played that for some reason.
It was for Rio 2016, right? Because I remember you tweeting about it.
You could be right. I don't remember, but yeah, it was weird, and I kind of made a very trolly video about it as well. But like that arcade cabinet is mental. It's like all these two huge like ski poles that you hold and stuff.
Right.
We can also run on it and everything. It's it's very weird.
Huh.
All right then. We move on.
One thing, I think, Ty, this may be some interest of you. I remember before Blaze Blue came out, there was some kind of like an arcade event somewhere. I was like with a buddy who really liked fighting games, and he's like, "Hey man, let's go to this thing." He's like, "Okay." It's like, "This is Blaze Blue." I'm like, "Okay."
Okay.
I played it.
Hell of a story.
That's everybody's first introduction to Blaze Blue. Hey, this is Blaze Blue.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like, okay, this is a cool fighting game, and then I didn't really think much of it until like probably I met you, Ty, or heard you or Sairus talk about it.
Yeah. Did you know there's an anime for that?
Really?
I heard it's bad.
Okay.
I have not heard about that anime either way, but I imagine so.
Yep.
Like most anime. Next question. Is there a Western developed game that y'all would want to localize and bring to Japan? That's from Ken, but with 200% less sleep. 65 Ken with 2 N's.
Yes, definitely.
So Western developed game that we want to bring to Japan. Well, yeah, my first one would be Celeste. Bring that shit to Japan, man.
I know there's a lot that if I really thought about it, but one that has come up would be Fallout 1 and 2, never released in Japan.
Oh man, get over it, Ty. It's gone. It's dead.
But yeah, there's a fan translation now, or I think it's like in progress. I think they finished Fallout 1 and 2 was in progress last I checked. I'm kind of curious to see how they localize like 90s pop culture references and stuff in those games.
I wonder if Wolfenstein 2 is going to be released in Japan.
I'm pretty sure they had it on their release list.
Has it already been released on the PS4 and Xbox? Well,
Yeah,
not
I think
Xbox,
so.
but PS4
Yeah,
in Japan. There is a Japanese version already.
I think so. But like I said, I'm like 99% sure I saw it on Nintendo, like NCL's like release list page.
I guess Doom is out in
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You can buy that as a package as well in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, my answer to that is Fallout 1 and 2.
My other answer is Call of Duty Rising Sun.
Ah!
Just kidding.
I think that did come out here though.
No, I didn't.
Are you sure? Not sure.
I had this conversation with a student.
I'm gonna look now.
Yes, I thought I
Yeah.
could have swore it did.
Yeah, like
a game about killing Japanese people.
yeah.
I think-
It's not the first time it's happened in Call of Duty. There was Call of Duty World
Oh,
at War.
do you mean Medal of Honor Rising Sun?
Yeah, same
yeah.
thing in it.
Let's see. Yeah, this came out in Japan.
In your face, Charlton.
Oh yeah, I remember like
December 4th, 2003, GameCube, PlayStation 2.
yeah,
Is it
I remember
World
there
at War,
was
the other one?
there was an article I read
Came out in Japan.
where they asked some Japanese players about how they felt about this game. And it was kind of interesting. It's like, well, I'm shooting my granddad, but it's kind of weird. But other than that, it's an okay game, I guess. Right?
Was it World at War, the other one that was in Japan?
Call of Duty.
Let me see World of War.
I'm pretty sure
Oh, I can save you the time here. Call of Duty World at War never came out in Japan,
That was the one.
but it was never region locked either.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
World of War never came out. No, that never did.
In your face, Bivens!
No, I was saying.
your
Like,
But you were talking about Rising Sun, though.
Same thing in it.
No.
Stop that.
No. No.
Rising Thunder, Rising Sun, World at War,
Rising
World at
Thunder
Sun.
is the robot fighting game.
What's the one with Tom Cruise driving the cars?
Ah.
Oh, that's Days of Thunder.
You.
There you go. They're all the same to me, aren't they? Okay, we've got time. Danny, we've got time for a few more, or
yeah, let's do maybe like one more.
okay. Okay. Wow, this is a tricky one. This is from Anthony Parr. @mark giant green goat. Good name. He says, "Is Japan as safe as a place as rumored? Rumored? If so, how is it possible with so many people? Respect can only get you so far."
A culture of shame.
Yeah. Why is it so safe? Man, that's a good point. Good question.
Well,
think-
being a dude helps. It's certainly less safe for women, I think.
Sure.
At night, I think, at nighttime, after hours, Japan is safer than other countries, but not completely safe, depending on where you are. If you're in like middle of Tokyo, certain areas, it's not going to be safe. But like, I think Ty was right. For women, it would be a lot more dangerous. Like for us, as white, disgusting white foreigners here in Japan, we will never feel danger in Japan at any time of night.
Right. Like we could go to the shadiest part of town, get blackout drunk, pass out in the street, and like when we wake up, our wallet will still be there.
There you go.
Yeah, and I've done these things, except for like passing out. I mean, I made it home.
You've done that at home, but not outside.
At home, obviously, I'm safe here usually.
So, and that is different from my country, for example, England. Like, anytime after 10 p.m., I'm already not feeling safe. Like, somebody's got a knife, somebody's going to kill me at any time. So, replace knife with gun.
They'll nick your mobile.
Right. They'll nick me Moby and stab me in the ass.
There's only been one time when I've actually felt in danger here, and I think I've talked about this on the show. One night, this is like 10 years ago, my friend had a car, a Japanese dude, and we went to Don Quixote. And for those unfamiliar, it's just basically like a big store where you can buy all sorts of stuff, and it's almost kind of like a mix between like Walmart and Spencer Gifts.
Yeah, that's what I always said. You got that from me.
Yeah. And and if Don, I don't know if you're familiar with Spencer Gifts. It's just like a shop with just a bunch of like just weird stuff. Like
there are plenty of stores like that here. Don't worry.
Okay.
Random shit.
Yeah, and if you played Yakuza games, you've seen Don Quixote. You've been there. But that's the only time
they put the pause in the wrong place though in Japanese. It's not Don Quixote. It's Don, comma,
excuse me.
Quixote.
Yeah,
right.
Excuse me. Yeah, but I was there with a friend, and I don't know why. It was like 2 a.m, and there was
wait, you were in Don Quixote and you felt a danger?
Yes, because like in the parking lot coming up to the building, there's just some like big ass dude, like a Japanese guy. He just looked like he was ready to like kill somebody, but I don't know. He just walked right by me, and nothing happened. So that was it.
Hey Bart, want to see me new chainsaw and hockey basket?
Yeah,
not gonna do anything.
So,
He's probably a cop.
Maybe.
Right. That's your answer for everything, Ty.
Right? Don't trust anyone.
This is a weird coincidence, but I actually got stopped by the police last night for I think for the first time ever, or maybe second time ever. I can't remember. But I was because last night it was raining pretty hard, and I was coming back quite late. It was maybe like 10:30 p.m. and I was on my bicycle, and I was holding an umbrella while riding the bicycle, and the policeman stopped me, and he very politely asked me to not do that. And then he very politely asked me to get off the bike, and then he checked to see if my bike was stolen. He checked because there's like a registration number on every bike in Japan, and he checked that against the police records, and I got the green light, and he said, "Okay, now cycle home in the rain without your umbrella." I was like, "Okay, thanks for ruining my night, asshole."
Should have had a rain suit, James.
Right, sorry. Yeah, it wasn't raining in the morning.
Got to look at the weather forecast, man.
What? So yeah, there you go. The po-po. Here they come. Here they come. 5050. Any time to use that music. Okay, so is that the last question for this episode?
Yeah, I think so.
Man, we still haven't finished the first batch. There's so many fucking questions.
So much.
So thank you to the 8-4 community for contributing to the Famicast. Thank you very much. You're great. I'll try to remind people that we answered their questions, because they might not. They probably don't know that we're doing it. I'll try and remind them. Okay, so that's a wrap.
Cool. All right, well, that's going to go ahead and bring the show to a close. Next, we're going to go ahead and give out our Twitter handles, and also we'll give Don some time to plug some stuff that he does too. But if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can. You can follow me at DannyBiv. And that's DANNYBIV. James, where can we find you?
Yes, I'm at Nintendo Lamo. That's LAMO at the end there. And I haven't got many followers at the moment, so I'd appreciate that. Some more followers. Thanks very much.
Okay.
I mostly tweet about burning cardboard.
Nice.
It's a new account, relatively new account.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and Ty.
Super cat drugs. I tweet about, gosh, I don't know. I haven't been tweeting much lately, but I did tweet something funny. I swear it.
Okay, let's have to go on faith about that. And Don.
Oh, yes, I tweeted about a hairy naked butt.
What?
Of course it is.
Congratulations.
It wasn't mine. Don.
Yes.
Where can people find you, and what type of stuff are you doing? I'm pretty sure if people are listening to us, they've probably heard or know about you, but still, just in case.
Sure. You can follow me on Twitter, which is at NintenDaan, and it's NENTNDAAN. I do stuff for Nintendo World Report, Game Explain, Go Nintendo, a whole bunch more. Sometimes some freelance work as well. Yeah, you can find links to all of the stuff I do. Usually I retweet or send a tweet out, either of the two. You have a good idea of what I do on a daily basis.
Cool.
All
All right. Well, Don, thanks for coming on, man. It's always a pleasure to, have you here. Always great to talk to you too. Thank you so much.
No worries.
And that's going to do it. So we will catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening and watching. See you later.
Bye-bye.
That's a wrap.
Plates.